Hi guys, so today I'm gonna teach you the very basics of Resolume, which is the interface. I know it's the most boring part of the software or any software whatsoever, but just as a lighting console or Blender or any Adobe software, once you know the interface is much easier. So I really recommend you to stick to the end and watch the whole video. You're gonna learn a lot, hopefully, and you'll get a really solid base to work with. So let's get into it. And by the way, if your native language is Spanish, I have the exactly same video, well, not exactly, but a Spanish version of this content. I'm gonna link it down below, so if you prefer it. Okay guys, so today I'm gonna teach you the very basics of Resolume, which is the interface. Just as any software, lighting software, 3D, video, etc., even video games, you have to learn the interface to make your life easier, and it really does make your life easier, but it's the most boring part. So I'm gonna try to keep it fun and make everything easier to understand. So for this tutorial, I'm gonna start from top to bottom of the interface, and I'm gonna try to keep it easy. So the top bar, you have the preference, the arena tab, and you get this preference thing. So the original, you just get where you want to record your video. Audio, this is an important one, I believe, for my shows mostly, when I have audio reactive stuff or I want things synchronized with a lighting console. Here you can set your SMPTE time code, your SMPTE inputs, your external audio, your inputs, from your audio input, and you have to you can separate them by channel, so it's very useful. In video, you just have where you have your plugins installed. MIDI, you configure your MIDI devices, OSC, DMX, your defaults, feedback, and registration. The composition tab, this is very important, same as a lot of software. You get your new, open, save, etc. That's the basics. And the composition settings, this is important because you can set up your canvas size, your composition. So here you have all the standards, but you can type them in as you prefer. So for the tutorial, as I'm going to put a window here, I'm going to put at 720. The frame rate, you can go automatic or 60, etc. I'm gonna set it at 30 FPS, and you can choose your color depth. So how many colors on your color palette. So I'm gonna keep it at 8 bits, bits per color, I think it is. The deck is just how many decks you have. Here, I just added one, so you can have like multiple instances inside your composition. Group, you can group different layers together and make them like independent in the same deck. Columns, columns, and layers. And the clip settings, I just control them from the clip menu. I mean the clip under here. Output, here you can go to advanced output and set a lot of things here. I got a lot of different. Here you can set up your advanced output, like when you're going to map a screen or projector, etc. And you can take snapshots from here, show your FPS, show your test card, which is really useful. You can display info on your output, so it's not going to show here. You can identify displays, turn on NDI or SPAR, which are standards for communication between softwares or multiple devices via NDI. You can put your full screen or window it. I got it right here, and here I disabled Shortcuts, it's where you edit your keyboard, sorry, shortcuts, MIDI, OSC, DMX, etc. So if I go, for example, to MIDI, here I got my MIDI settings, and here I just, with Ctrl Shift M, that's the shortcut, I forgot. View, here you can turn on your Ableton link, etc. Show layer transition controls. I'm gonna activate that because I'm gonna explain it. These are very important, and you have to turn them on here because they're not on the default layout. Autopilot, etc. Everything you want to activate, it's from here. So here I can show groups, and it's going to appear here as well. I'm gonna hide it for now. Here you have your composition controls. You know, like for example, if you got, I'm gonna put some things here, and a gradient, and I'm gonna turn off my test card. So I got this and this gradient. I can turn off this, and it's going to disappear where the location is. Doesn't matter. It's gonna to turn them off. It's not going blank or pausing them or anything like that. They're off completely. Here you got your master. So just as a lighting console, you get your, it's like your master dimmer, you know, like this is the speed, and it won't affect anything that's not a video. So if you got these sources, it's not going to affect the sources, just videos. So I'm gonna load a video real quick. Okay, so now I loaded the video. It's this really fast, it's 2-second loop DVX3, and I can turn on the speed, faster, sorry, and slow it down. And with the right click, this is on the whole Resolume interface. With the right click, you get to the default. So for example, I put the height here at 526, right click 1080, which is the native of the video. Here you get these 2 arrows, which are very important in my opinion, because this is how I program my shows. I put all my files or my videos, etc. on a layer, you know. I mean, I use multiple layers for compo, but I compose everything by columns as well. So maybe this is a visual I want to trigger, and this is the next one. So this is the intro of the song, and this is the chorus just saying, and I want to trigger this one first. I trigger that in, and with my MIDI controller I just go next, and that's it. So this is very, very useful, these 2 triggers. Then you have your columns, and if you click them, you go like that. Down here you got basically the same that in here at the top. So you got your X that will stop everything on this layer if you want to bypass this. So it's not off. So maybe with this will be easier to explain. The video is still going, you know. If I bypass it, you just will see the check rate, but the video is still going behind it. With the solo, it's completely the opposite. It's just solo. Here you have your lots and lots of different transparencies. So maybe I don't want to add it, I want to multiply, and I create this completely different visual just with these 2. Or I want to burn the image, which is a different kind of transparency. Or maybe I want to use this as a transition kind of stuff. So I put this push up one, and it's more like a transition, and I can do it on my MIDI controller and just use that instead of this transition bar. It's just another tool. Then is the transition bar. So here you got another set of, I'm gonna put this back on. You got another set of um, kind of overlays or transitions or transparencies, as you might call them. So for example, if I put this zoom out kind of transition, and here this T indicates time of this transition. So I can just put it up a little bit, and it's going like that, like it's going to make that animation. And I can do it like really turn it to 0, and I don't know, push left, and it's another one. And if I turn them off, it goes push left again. And if I turn them on, it goes like that. It just makes it a general kind of transition for all your videos on this layer. Sorry. Going down, the A and B. So for example, I can say this checkered one is a B, and this gradient is A. And here you got this A and B kind of crossfader, and with a right click you go to the middle. But if you just want to see one, you have to go to one of two extremes. This is more like a camera input kind of thing. I barely use it, to be honest, but it's more like a camera kind of thing. Here you have your masters. So this M is the same kind of master as this one. It will just do video and audio completely, just your audio, and this one is just going to be your video. Further down, well, this arrows is the ones for decks, so it doesn't do the same as these ones. These ones are for decks, and maybe you program differently, and each deck is a song, maybe, or maybe you have lots of artists in your show, so maybe the first deck is going to be this DJ, and the next deck it's another DJ, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe you don't know what kind of music they're going to play at this party, and you just say, okay, the first deck is going to be electronic, the second one is going to be Latin music or dance music or something like that. I don't know, it's just an idea. Okay, so BPM is very important, because for example, if I got this video right here, and I'm skipping a few things here, but maybe I want BPM sync. BPM stands for beats per minute, so I can say that I want each loop of this video to go to the rhythm of the music. So 120 it goes like twice in I don't know, like, all right, so maybe I can slow it down. Here on tap, I can, like, like when you feel the music, like boom 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 boom, and you tap it, and it's going to be faster to that rhythm. Here you can do it like slowly, just one by one. Here you just like hold it down and then goes, hold it up and then goes. Here you can divide it, here you can multiply it. The resync button is really interesting, because here you see like 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So maybe the drop, the visual is in another tempo. Like for example, the drop, it's obviously in 1, but your visual is going on 3rd. So you go like 1 2 3 resync, and then your visual starts again from the beginning. So yeah, and here you can pause it, like, I don't know, you need to pause it, but here it's still going on, like still on play position, but this is like the whole pause thing. Here you got a metronome, so it's just like a thing that goes and tells you the time. And this is an undo button, so it's like a Control Z. Yeah, that's how you said English. So yeah, here you got your output monitor, and here you got the settings for this like panel. So you can control, put it above each other, side by side. You know, if you got a really wide or a dedicated screen for this, it might be useful. Picture in picture. So I got this. Oh yeah, by the way, if you want to preview something, like say I want this, yeah, I got this video and I want this gradient. I want to see what effects I got in, or I want to see how it looks or which position it is, whatever. But I don't want to trigger it. Like I'm at the show and I don't want to trigger it. You just have to click on the name, like this little gray area. It's and here you got the information of the clip, and you can trick it, like change the color of the gradient or whatever, and then if you click on top of it, you will trigger it. Yeah. So and no preview. That's just when you have a dedicated screen for this. Like you go to your output and you set that screen just to your preview, and yeah, because you need a preview obviously. So yeah, this tab, it's the one that manages everything. So just as the layers from here, the Resolume goes like composition, layer, clip. That's the hierarchy of it, you know. So here at the composition, you can set effects for the whole compo. Like for example, I don't know, yeah, distortion. So this effect, you know, that distorts the image, just like here. Well, it's not really a good example, a gradient, but yeah, it will apply to the whole composition. And as well, you have the controls here for the volume, which is like a master, you might say, the pan, you know, left and right, the video opacity, the crossfader from this A and B. So again, if this is A and this is B, I can set the opacity, the blend mode, yeah, from this, you know. So now it's like that. And yeah, but I don't want A. The transform, you know, the scale, everything. So for example, now, yeah, I got this distortion thing going on, and now I got the layer. The layer, you got exactly the same as composition, but you get the autopilot as well. Autopilot is when you like want to set this, and this says it's just 5 seconds, and this is once the video ends, it's going again. So this is useful for maybe when you're feeling kind of lazy and you have a electronic a discotheque kind of environment. You just put everything on autopilot, and maybe you're just good to go, just like have it right there. And okay, so the clip here, the clip is pretty self-explanatory. Here you can drag your effects, your sources, everything, and here's the info. What else you might want to do is see your monitor, your panel monitors. Oh, for example, here you can see your clip, what's doing as well as a preview, you know. You might want to do that. And here you can look for your files, pretty self-explanatory. Your compositions, as whether you have something saved from another show. For example, I don't know, like I got these generatives here, and maybe these are the decks from those compositions. So maybe you don't want to open that, but you have a nice visual over there. So you just drag the deck and put it here, and now you got the deck here with the same resolution that you set your composition before without changing everything. So that is nice, and you have the same effects and everything. Here you have your bypass, presets, and just eliminate it. Well, effects, audio and video effects, sources, and your record. If you want to record, let's say this, to show it to a client or anything, you go, click record, stop, and there it is. It's a new video. And the good thing is that it's MP4, I believe, and Resolume saved it the recorded folder. Carpet. Good English, mates. Yeah, so you go to your documents, go to Resolume Arena, record it, and here it's the video, and it's MOV, sorry, not MP4, MOV. And yeah, that's the basics of the Resolume interface. It's probably going to be like a 15-minute video. It's pretty fast, sorry, but I think I got to do all the really basics of Resolume. So yeah, stay tuned for next videos. Hope you like it. If you like it, hit the like button, please. It really does help. And stay home, watch your hands, and be safe. See you next time.